is going on, people of the internet? You know who I am because you subscribe to the channel, or if you just caught this clip, be sure to hit the subscribe button. This clip was taken from our latest episode of My Xbox and Me, link in the description. If you want to watch the full podcast, it is out there. But what I want to do on the channel from now on is add some clips onto this, my main YouTube channel, other than just reaction content, some of the podcast stuff that I do as well. This is all about Mixer. I hope you enjoy. Moving on, topic of the show this week, Chris. We've got some real gaming news, some real craziness that's going on in our industry right now, which is Mixer. Microsoft is shutting down Mixer. Mixer will now partner with Facebook Gaming. This one was taken from Xbox Wire, and it says Microsoft has announced it will be shutting down Mixer, and on July 22nd, it will redirect all Mixer sites and all Mixer sites and apps to Facebook Gaming. The news was announced on the Xbox Wire, with Microsoft admitting it became clear that the time needed to grow our live streaming community to scale was out of measure with the vision and experience we want to deliver to our gamers now. End quote. Microsoft has made the decision to transition all of its streamers to Facebook Gaming if they choose, meaning to those who signed exclusive deals, namely Ninja, King Goliath, and Shroud, will be free to return to Twitch or continue on Facebook Gaming. King Goliath has already announced he will join in Facebook Gaming and will be streaming on Facebook Gaming on June 26th, 2020. Well, let me just carry on and then we'll go through it. Oh yeah, I know exactly where you're going through. Gonna go. I think. While it's unclear when Ninja and Shroud will be going, Dextro's Richard Lewis has announced, quote, sources familiar with the deal have informed me that while Facebook did try and negotiate to keep their big partners, both Shroud and Ninja opted out. They have received their full payments as of midnight yesterday, were free to engage in talks with other platforms on game. End quote. Carry on, there is a little bit more we got here. We can start at that point, actually. We'll start there and then we'll carry on because the rest of it gets into a bit more XCloud and things of that nature. So just breaking this down, which is the big news, obviously, that Ninja, Shroud are now free to go wherever they want.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? And then we'll break down, obviously, the whole problems. We've got questions about Mixer and stuff, so we'll hold that for then.
Right. They walked away with a bag and they walked away with it clean. Mixer wasn't working for either of them, really. Like, to say that they got paid ridiculous amounts. The number they got paid came out also.
Oh, how much was it then?
Ninja made 30 million, Shroud made 10. And for them to stay on Facebook, the offer was doubled.
Doubled, yeah. So
they would have got 60
made
million
60
over the contract,
and Shroud would have made 20.
I don't know if Shroud's was doubled. I read Ninja's was doubled. I'm assuming
I think all of them, both of them were doubled. I think the offer was for both of them.
I'm gonna assume that with King Italian, his offer was doubled, but he probably didn't get make that much in the first deal, and that's why he took that.
Yeah. I mean,
otherwise, there's no reason not to switch to Twitch.
In my thing, I would assume that his money has now become generational money, where like if he got offered maybe $500,000, it's now. I'm not saying that's what he got offered. I don't know the ins and outs of this deal, but let's say he got offered $500,000, he's now made $1 million.
Yeah.
And that's of course life-changing money. And if he invest it right, he could buy his house, he can invest a bit more,
he can do what he's got to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where with Ninja, it's like the difference. This is going to sound like such a stupid statement, but it's actually true in business, which is there's not a big difference between 30 and 60 million in terms of like what he could do with it. Like he can already invest enough money and make 60 million. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. But I also think it's partly like Ninja can shop around now. He doesn't need to come to Twitch. He doesn't need to go to YouTube. He could go to what's the platform that PewDiePie was streaming on?
Oh, DLive.
He could go to DLive. DLive could offer him 40 million on top of
Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen.
No, absolutely not. But I'm just saying, like, it's all like they both are probably getting offers, right? They both made statements like, we're gonna wait to see what we're gonna do with our communities. I'm sure they wanted to think it through. That was part of it, but also part of it's like, show me what you guys have to offer.
Deals, YouTube, how much are you offering me? Because I was watching a video of Harris Hellers the other day, which is someone we both watch, and he was saying that, and I agreed with him, which was I don't think Ninja wants to go back to Twitch. He will, but I don't think he would want to go back to Twitch, especially with what they did to him, removing his whole channel, then putting his whole channel back, then putting porn on his channel. It was just a lot of stuff, right? So maybe Twitch have learned from that, and they're going to go, hey, we know we effed up. We know we need to work on this relationship again, but you started here. You should come back here. You now made they're not going to be able to say any of that you made money stuff, but there's plenty enough there for him to go back. He's got 10 million followers on Twitch, I think he
still has the most followers.
Yeah, I think he still has the most followers. Like, he goes back and plays Fortnite, he's gonna go mad, like absolutely crazy. Go on.
I was gonna say, I wonder if for him it's not necessarily about the money. Now it's where he can sort of like aim the platform sort of to be better for streamers.
Again, I think he moved to Mixer, number one, for the money, and number two, because he wanted to put something on his back and build it, right?
Yeah.
Microsoft clearly, and made it very clear, they're like, well, we're not doing that anymore. Sorry, I'm going to go off on a little tangent. That must be whoever greenlit that deal, whether it was Phil Spencer or whoever, that must be the worst greenlit deals on the stream. It's Ewok, King Gotharian, Ninja, Shroud, and I don't know any of the others that came over. There was a couple of others. Whoever those were that greenlit those must be the worst money spent ever in Microsoft.
Yeah. Absolutely. I don't know what they were doing over at Mixer, but like, you spent $40 million on the two biggest streamers, and you got them, and then you signed more streamers. You didn't do anything. You didn't make your platform better. You didn't advertise. You didn't fix it. There were issues. People had complaints, but the one thing Mixer had was the community really liked Mixer. It's such a nice platform.
Yeah.
That's only because it's smaller.
Yep.
So.
Well, I think it's that, and it's just people being narrow-minded as well. My community is really nice. The Kind of Funny community is really nice.
Oh, absolutely.
And yeah, don't get me wrong. As they get bigger, you're going to have more shitheads. It's how you, and as we're learning, like at the start of the show, it's how you come out. Like now, I will comb. Once upon a time, I would never have combed through my YouTube comments and deleted like racial or sexist or now. Delete, block, delete, block. I am combing through. You're not welcome here. You're not welcome here. Like, I'm putting you in your own little chamber with the rest of you racists, and you can go and play over there. And I still don't like you, but you're not going to be nowhere near me anymore. No way. I'm not even listening to it.
You know what I wish YouTube let you do? Made it so you can let people comment, but that their comment is invisible to everybody. So somebody makes like a racist comment, and then you just mute it, and they can post on all your future videos, but nobody will ever see a comment.
That'd be really interesting. I don't know if you can. I don't know like the moderation tools in YouTube, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I have no clue. I've never heard about anybody doing it, because I hear people doing it all the time on Twitter. Like, the best thing you can do is not block somebody, you just mute them. Because then they think they're talking to somebody, and they think they just get more frustrated, right?
Muting people.
Because when you block them, they win.
Yeah. They get a response, don't they? So.
Yeah.
But to go back to this whole Ninja and Shroud thing, I think Shroud goes back. Shroud was loved on Twitch. On Twitch. And him going over, secured the bag. They both made the easiest money you'll ever make. They had to pay up their contract, which is so nuts to me. Nuts to me. But I see Ninja going to YouTube and seeing what what's his name? What's the 100 Thieves team?
Courage.
Yeah, seeing what Courage has done over there, which is like he's built his own lane. He plays what he wants. He makes great YouTube content as well as, which isn't just usual normal VOD stuff. Obviously, see what 100 Thieves has built. I think Ninja's gonna go in that place where he's looking to build something now, something else. Where Shroud is a gamer. He's a gamer. He loves the game. He's one of the best gamers ever. And I don't think he's looking to like build things. So I think he'll go back to Twitch.
Like, he's technically a content creator, but he's not really a content creator for the most part, right?
Yeah, of course.
Not as like a slight towards him.
But... No, I totally agree. To carry on with this though, where did I get to? As reported by The Verge, the head of Facebook Gaming said, quote, It's up to them and their priorities, meaning Microsoft new partners isn't actively pursuing exclusive agreements with any of Mixer's biggest names. Existing partners will be granted partnership status with Facebook Gaming, and streamers using the Mixer monetization program will be able to start using Facebook's Level Up program instantly. As for the Mixer viewers, those with, quote, outstanding Ember balances, channel subscriptions, or Mixer Pro subscriptions will receive Xbox gift card credit. End quote. Microsoft is also slating that Project xCloud was all a big factor in this decision, and it will quote, look to debut click-to-play scenarios within the Facebook gaming and Instagram communities. The technology that helped build Mixer will continue to impact Microsoft products, as Microsoft teams will leverage Mixer's deep investments in ultra-low latency, video streaming, real-time interactivity, thank you, and video distribution technologies to accelerate our ability to support a variant of video first. Virtual experiences from meetings to live events to other broadcast scenarios. Speaking to The Verge, Xbox head Phil Spencer described how Mixer was fighting an uphill battle from the start. Quote, we started pretty far behind in terms of where Mixer's monthly active viewers were compared to some of the big players out there, Spencer said. Quote, I think the Mixer community is really going to benefit from the broad audience that Facebook has through their properties and the ability to reach gamers in very senseless way through the social platforms Facebook has. I never really talk shit about Phil Spencer, and I don't think anyone really does, because he doesn't usually come out with many like
foot and mouth
and PR speak things. This one, unfortunately, was one of those where I really think the Mixer community. No, shut up. You've taken away their platform. You've taken away the platform from their communities, from their streamers. You've taken away livelihoods. There is so much. Do not come out with a bullshit statement like this.
Yeah, I'm just curious how much of a part Phil actually played in it, and if he was just sort of given this statement to say, like, if you're asked this question, this is what you say.
This is
like,
the
that's
PR
part
answer.
of the deal. Yeah. Because like this is a bad statement. It's not a good statement, you know.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I think the Mixer community is really gonna benefit. Like, no, they're not.
Yeah.
Like most of them are starting over from nothing. Right?
Yeah. Well, the ones that were not smart enough to diversify their communities, which has always been the problem, and we'll get into that very soon because we've got questions coming up. But yeah, overall, Crash, because we have both streamed on Mixer. I think you were on it more than I was due to giving it more of a test period than what I did, which I was so thankful for. You took the bullet for me, I'm not going to lie to you. How are you feeling about this? Because obviously having more of these services was always a good thing because it didn't let Twitch monopolize it, right? But now you've seen the one that we all had hope for, in my opinion, has now gone.
I'm not surprised. To be honest, from when I started doing when I was streaming on Mixer to now, Mixer didn't change all that much.
Nope.
They didn't add anything new. Like the good thing about Mixer was like, oh, Mixer is low latency. Oh, Mixer has embers. Oh, Mixer has channel levels, channel points, all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Twitch started adopting that, and then Mixer was just like, yeah, well, I guess we're beat. Let's just call it a day, go home, and do whatever. Like they didn't keep up the pressure. They didn't keep up growing. They didn't do all these things that they needed to. Instead, they were like, we got Shroud. Let's put Shroud in this really dope Mixer commercial.
Yeah.
Which commercial was great.
It was a good advert.
It was a really good commercial. But like, what does that do? That doesn't get people to go on your platform and stay on your platform.
Yeah.
When they don't like the interactivity of it.
Mm-hmm.
When the emotes are too small, that's something easy to fix, right?
Yeah.
There were general complaints that just weren't fixed, and I wonder how long Xbox has been, well, not Xbox, but Microsoft and Mixer have been trying to come to this deal with Facebook Gaming for this. Because that could explain why they haven't done any big updates for a really long time, right?
Yeah. I mean, we spoke about it a little bit in DMs where I was like, it's interesting. And obviously Facebook have clearly bought them out and they're going to take over all the contracts and stuff like that. So they made a little bit of money back on this, Microsoft. But I think there's a bigger picture here, which is, it's what Phil said pretty much, which is xCloud is coming, right? And to be able to, YouTube have obviously got Stadia. It's like, okay, what do Microsoft need? They need somewhere they can go, here's this ad, click this game, you can play it right now.
Yeah.
Who is the best? As much as I don't like Facebook as a company, and they have some very shady practices, you've got to just from a business perspective,
Everybody's on Facebook.
Everyone's on Facebook. Everyone can click this. Everyone can get to it. Same with Instagram. They have such a widespread reach that it's like this makes perfect sense.
Yep. And then Instagram also, so you have it on mobile too. So it's not just when you're sitting down on your computer. It's like you always have it on mobile, right?
Yep.
Facebook's on mobile as well.
But I understood what you meant. I knew what you was trying to get at. Don't get me wrong. I got you.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah, I think this is a good deal for Microsoft. I think this is a really good deal to Microsoft, but there's a bunch of PR that's attached with this that might not be that good.
Well, obviously you got the whole just a day before this. I forgot to even add it. Not that it was like forgettable, but it's just something that was weird. Now Mix is gone. It's a weird thing to be at. There was a statement that came out about how someone who worked at Mixer was just treated so poorly because of the color of their skin. There was a quote from a higher up that worked at Mixer, saying that all Mixer streamer partners were slaves and they owned their content, and just a ton of horribleness, which you can go check it out. But yeah, it was like that, and then this happened, and then it's just so crazy.
Yeah. I do know that the guy that outed it, Millie, what's his name? I wanna Milan Kaylee. He had a meeting with Phil Spencer yesterday. Apparently that meeting went well from what I'm hearing. So hopefully the problem is like the ramifications of that stuff we'll never see, because now there are no faces inside of Microsoft now, right?
Well, yeah, hypothetically, yeah.
Yeah.
So we should have saw the writing on the wall when we saw like Ricari get sacked, and like that whole Mixer, they were trying to build that whole Mixer like where we do content sort of thing. When we saw that go down, we should have known there was a problem then. That's when we should have known.
We talked about there being a problem. It was just like, when are they going to replace them, or when's the other shoe going to drop, right? But then they did nothing for so long that people forgot, right? I completely forgot about all that, and then when this happened, I was surprised for a second. I was like, wait, no, I'm not.
This makes perfect sense.
Not at all. Yeah.
But I feel bad for like people that I know. Do you remember when I tried to go for that job? That job at Xbox?
Yeah.
And someone now just doesn't have a job. Like,
yeah. Absolutely.
That to me is crazy. My thoughts go out to all the streamers that I've got a couple of friends over there, which people know, who were all partners. They were all doing really well, and they've come over to Twitch, and right now they're doing really well. I'm so worried about them because they got that boom right now, and some of them are doing like 100 plus, and some of them are doing just shy of 50, and here, there, and everywhere, right? But they're so lazy on, I want to be a partner, and I'm like, if you don't get partner, I wonder what that's going to do to you in a month's time. Like, when everyone stops the gifted subs, everyone stops the given bits, everyone stops like all of that, and not only them, all the small streamers who are just coming up, who didn't have a Twitch account, so they're not even affiliated yet, and don't have their alerts ready, and don't have their emotes ready, and it's like, did you really not diversify yourself enough?
Yeah.
And you were a slave. No, I'm not saying that, because that's not the right wording.
Yeah.
You were just in a product of the way society is, where you just buy into one platform, which it just comes with education.
No, I like being so tied to any idea or thought. I think isn't the move to do. You know, you have to be ready. You have to. Nobody but you and your parents have your best interest at heart.
Mm-hmm.
And that's true.
Like, no, even that I can't agree with. Just you. I can't sit here because not everyone has great parents. Not everyone has great parents. Correct. So no, I can't even say that. Yeah.
You're not wrong. Just like, whenever you're told anything, take it with a grain of salt and view it like, what does this affect for me? Not necessarily who's saying it to you, because I think that is important. Because I do think people get caught up in the hype or caught up in all this stuff. But we've seen it. People will power trip. Every movement that's going on right now is like tied to people power tripping in some sort of way.
100%.
Right? if somebody has something over you, they will use it to get the best situation for themselves, whatever they view that best situation is.
Yeah.
Right. So just be conscious of that and understand like what avenues you have, and just sort of, even if you don't necessarily want to go to Twitch, have Twitch prep that if anything ever happens, you should be able to, if
Yeah.
you're streaming on Twitch right now, have YouTube prep that if you ever need to, like, you can move over, right? Maybe even Facebook gaming if that's your thing, right?
Yeah.
Just be conscious of everything, right?
I think all options should be on the table. Remember, these are corporations; they're not your friends.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, dude, do you know how devastated I'd be if this was Twitch? Like, could you imagine if this was Twitch?
Yeah, especially like right now, you're on an upward trajectory.
Yeah,
right? And like for that to happen right now would be devastating, right?
Mate, I don't even. That's why I know what Bob's going through right now.